So hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. So in our stack journey for today, I have completed two questions, and our first question is previous smaller element. Yesterday we have solved for the next greater element and next greater element part 2, where we have utilized the stack to store the values of next greater element. So in this, our task is to return an array or a vector that stores the next previous smaller element. So in this we will be traversing from our start till our end, and whichever be their left hand side smaller element, they are just adjacent smaller element, and we will simply return that element if it is available. If it is not available, we will return -1. So for the brute force, we will be return loop from 0. First loop will be run from 0 to n minus 1, while our second loop will be run from j minus 1. J will be run from I minus 1 to 0 from the back, and we will be comparing if array of j is less than array of I. If it is the case, so our element is present, and in this our NSE of I will be as array of j, and we will break out and return simply after ending the loop. We will return back our NSE. NSE is next smaller element. So that's how the brute force work, but it's not the optimal solution. It will take the time complexity of n square and space complexity of big O of n. So for the optimal, uh, like yesterday, we have utilized the stack for storing the values. So for here, we will also utilize this stack. So we will be storing the values in our monotonic stack in a increasing order value. Yesterday, for an next greater element, we were storing elements for in a decreasing order, and storing the largest value than their smallest value according to their height. So in this question, we have to store the values but in a increasing order in this monotonic stack. So let's take an example of elements 5, 7, 9, 6, 7, 4, 5, 1. Up to this is max. So we will be, for this question we will be traversing from our 0 to n minus 1, and we will be checking if their left hand on their left hand side is there any element present that is smaller than them. If it is present, we will be simply putting that NSE in our array, and our that current element will be stored in our stack because it may be a NSE for someone else. So we will be traversing. So for 5, firstly 5 there is no NSE, so we will return back -1 and push back 5 in our stack as it may be a NSE of someone. So next element is 7. For 7, 5 is the smallest element, so simply we will add 5 in our vector and 7 in our stack and move forward for 9. For 9, 7 is our smaller element, and we will be returning the 7 as NSE of 9 and storing 9 in our stack, and then move to 6. For 6, 9 is not the NSE for sure because 9 is greater, so we will move away and check that is there any other element, and we will pop out 9 from our stack because it is not the NSE of 6. Now next comes 7. So we are checking the top of our stack, that's a 7, and 7 is greater than 6, so we will also pop out it, and next our element is 5. So 5 is the NSE of 6, thus storing 5 in our vector for NSE of 6, and 6 will be pushed in our stack. So by this order we will be putting element and popping out element if element are greater than not our required list. So that's how we will able to solve this problem. For the pseudocode, we will be running loop from 0 to n minus 1, and we will checking the condition if our stack is empty or our stack's top element is greater than or equals to array of I. If our element is greater, so we will simply pop it out, and if it is not the case, then we will checking the two condition. If our stack is already empty, so we will be returning the -1, else if we will be returning the stack's top element as our NSE in our new current array. We will be storing that value in our NSE list, and at the end we will be returning that list. So that's how we will able to solve that question. And for the complexity, our complexity for time complexity, it's big O of 2n, big O of n for our traversal, and big O of n, maximum big O of n may be happened while finding the NSE element and popping out the element from our stack. So that's the time complexity. And space complexity will be big O of n plus big O of n, big O of n for extra space of stack, and big O of n for the list of vector that we are utilizing to store the NSE list. So that's the question. Another question is tapping or trapping rainwater. So firstly I will explain what is trapping rainwater. So in this question we have given the non-negative integers, and suppose like we have a series of building or a bar graph in which buildings are present in a 2D order, and now our task is to extract the spaces that in between the water can be trapped. So let's take the height of the building. If rain happen, then the water will be locked between where. So let's analyze. Like we have zero. A building can be a 0 or 1, means building height can be a 0 or 1 unit. So any unit can be possible up to 0. And what's the case where water can be trapped? Water can only be trapped in the space if our left hand side and our right hand side, both the buildings are taller, and our current building is smaller than them. So it's the only case where our water can be stored. Simply we can store a water if two different height level are present, and there is some gap in between them. So only in this case we can store water. We have to remember this concept only. So our task is to return the total unit of water that can be stored for our buildings. So we have to give that answer. So let's analyze. Like we have given some buildings, and if there is a case like taller building on your left hand side and right hand side, if it is the case, then only water will be locked. We have to remember this. And we have to check for every individual building. Like for X building, we have to firstly check for its left side and also for its right side. Is there any building that is taller than them? If they are present there, then only that is the case where will our water stuck in between or locked in between. So we have to check for every building separately. And lastly we will check the for the height parameter. We will check the height of our building. Suppose like our building is 1 unit, and their left max is 2 unit and their right max is 3 unit. So for this we have to check that how much unit of height we can store water. So our building size is 1 unit, and their minimum of the maximum of both building is our 2. So our left max is our 2, that up to that height we can only store water. So 2 minus 1 means 1 unit. So 1 unit of water we can store. So that's how we will able to solve or analyze how much water can be stored. And there will be also a case where if suppose that we have the tallest building, we are standing on a tallest building, and every building is smaller on their left hand side or their right hand side. So if water flows So water will overflow over the ground and will not be counted as a locked water because it cannot be locked. So we have to remember that case also. So for the brute force or for the solution that I can think of it by using stack is we have our main task is to get the minimum of left max and right max element. Whichever will be the minimum, that's the maximum height. Up to that height we can store water. And on the current building, whichever in the building we are, so we will be subtracting that much height from our minimum of left and right max, and that's the amount of water we can store in that particular building area. So this is the primary formula. And if we run this for 0 to n minus 1, we will be able to solve and execute for each and every building, and would be able to find the total amount of water that can be locked in between. So for trapping rainwater, uh, I have taken a total as 0 and run the loop from 0 to n minus 1, where I have checked the condition. If our array of I means current index building array of I is less than from left max, and array of I should be less than right max. If it is the case, then our left max will be as our prefix max, and our right max will be as suffix max. So now question arises, what is prefix max and suffix max? I will tell it later. Just imagine that we are getting the left max element and right max element, and we are on the x building. So our total will be, according to our formula, will be minimum of left max and right max minus our current building height, that is array of I. So we will be returning, so we will be adding total, and until our loop runs, we will able to add all the unit of water that can be stored, and in the end we will be returning that total water. So now comes what is prefix max and suffix max. So let's analyze prefix max. So for the prefix max function, we will be able, we will be counting like we have an element a list of 21053. So for the prefix, our first element prefix max will be nothing but 2 itself, because the minimum element, that is 2, and from our next element like 2 then 1. For 1, what is the prefix max? Means maximum of 2 comma 1. That means prefix max is nothing but maximum of prefix of I minus 1 comma our current array of I. That's our prefix max. And similarly for the suffix max, so prefix max we are taking the maximum of all the elements that are on the left hand side, and for the suffix max it's just vice versa. We will be checking for our right side element, means we will be traversing from n minus 1 to 0, and checking like for our 10, for our last value, that value will be the suffix max. And before for n minus 1, n minus 1 value will be the suffix max. For n minus 2 we will be checking is n minus 2 or n minus 1, whichever will be the maximum will be their suffix max. And then for n minus 3 we will be checking for n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, whichever will be the maximum of them, that will be the suffix max of that value. So like this we will be traversing up to 0, and we will be able to calculate our suffix max. So by this we will able to calculate prefix max and suffix max. So we will be writing the function for each and prefix max and suffix max, and at the end we will be just adding the total as a minimum of our left max, that is prefix max, comma right max, that is suffix max, minus array of I. So by this technique we will able to calculate the water that is locked between two buildings. So for this, our time complexity will be big O of 3n and space complexity will be big O of 2n. Why big O of 3n? Big O of n for prefix max, big O of n for suffix max, and big O of n for traversal and adding the total unit of water. So that's how our complexity rises. And as we are using extra space, so we are taking two different array to store prefix max and suffix max, and for this our space complexity is big O of 2n. So it's not the best solution. So what will be the best solution? So what's the case in this? Let's analyze. We are storing both values. We are storing the left max and the right max, and what we actually require, we require the smaller one, whichever will be the smaller or minimum of both the maximum element will be our maximum height up to which we can store the water. So by this concept we will be able to solve it by traversing using both sides. So we will be traversing from left side as well as right side, whichever will. So let's analyze its pseudocode, and during the pseudocode analysis we will able to understand the problem solution. So our total rainwater will be given, have to find. So we will be taking a left max element and a right max element, and the total is 0, and our left pointer will be at 0 while the right pointer will be at n minus 1, and our loop starts while l is less than r, means left pointer is less than r. Wherever they cross or meet each other we will stop. So if array of left is less than or equals to array of right, means we are checking for the left side part, means our we are standing at X building and checking for the left side of their buildings. Whichever building is, if array of L is less than equals to array of R, means whichever will be the smaller one. So in this we have two cases. If left max is greater than our array of L, means is there already a left max present? If left max is present, is it greater than array of left or not? If it is greater than, then we will be adding the total uh, with left max minus array of L, means maximum of left element minus our current element height, means that height we will be adding in our total. Or else if it is not the case, so we will simply update our left max element as array of L and moving our left pointer forward. So this is the check for left max, and similarly we will check for right max, where it lies in our else condition, where our array right max element is greater than array of right. If it is the case, then only we will be adding the total value as right max minus array of r. Array of r is nothing but the building on which we are standing right now. So right max means right maximum element is present there, and we are just subtracting our current building height from that building and getting the maximum and getting the blockage area where we can store the water. So that's how we will be increasing total. And if right max element is not present, simply update our right max element as array of r and move the right pointer behind previous pointer as r equal to r minus 1. In the end we will be returning the total value and simply get the maximum amount of water that can be blocked in between two buildings. So for this our time complexity will be big O of n, as we are utilizing and traversing up to n elements, and we will be always be, our left and right pointer will be meeting at the tallest building, because uh, before that all the left max have been calculated and right max have been calculated, so they will always meet at the tallest building. That's the check which we can analyze. And our space complexity will be big O of 1, because we are not using any extra space. Nothing is, we are not storing anything, just using the pointers and playing with the pointers and checking whichever will be the smallest, and in that smallest building minus our current building, that's the area that we want to block or we can block. So that's how we will able to solve this question, and our trapping rainwater problems also get solved. I will be solving it over LeetCode, and for today, that's enough. And in upcoming days, we will able to solve our stack and queue problem. I think before November, we will able to wrap it up, and move forward for other concepts and other LDS topics. Until that, stay tuned, stay happy. Thanks.